Hello everyone and welcome back to Story Mode. I have new things I can do in front of the camera, which I just learned this second. It's very cute, is it not? Okay, but enough goofing around. We actually have a lot to do today, because tomorrow we are going to be starting the Remind DLC, but today we got to do everything else, and there is actually quite a lot to do. Fortunately, I did most of it. I have been very, very busy over the weekend, and well, let me just show you here. Yes, indeed, we are Plus Ultra yet again, level 99 all around. Not only that, but I have gone and done almost everything else. I have collected all of the synthesis materials. I have done all of the tedious side quests, and I left the most interesting stuff for us to do today. But before we do that, let me just give you a quick little tour of all of the stuff I've been busy spending many hours getting out of the way, so you didn't have to sit and watch it all. Begin tour! So, one of the main things that I had to do was go to all of the Disney worlds and find the rest of these flans. The Flantastic 7 is what they're called, which is a wonderful name, and I had to complete all of their mini-games. Not just complete, but ace. I had to do a very good job at all of them. Now, y'all already saw 2 of them, I believe, in the previous episode. Let me just give you a tiny taste of the other flan mini-games. And this one, you roll around avoiding berries and bumping into flans to pick them up. And you try to build the tallest little tower of flans you can. This one's actually one of the easier ones. I just got it first try, no problem. That was not true of all of these flan challenges. Some of them actually took quite a few tries. To the next one. All right, so y'all already saw the one in the Kingdom of Corona. That was the orange one where I was having to take photos and get, like, rack up points. This is the banana one in Monstropolis. Oh, by the way, there's another another lucky emblem. I liked that one quite a bit. This one, what was this challenge anyway? Are they not all so cute? Oh yeah, this one was dodge the big flans attacks while attacking the little ones. If you get hit by the big one once, then the game's over. So you just gotta rack up as many kills as you can before that happens. Took me a few tries to do this one, but not too bad, especially with some AoE magic. Like so. Really makes a big difference. Anyway, next game. Here in Arendelle, you have to contend with the grape flan. And in this game, you basically have to just defeat as many as fast as possible, and the only way to really get a high score in this one is to, like, not only be attacking a bunch of them, but also be blocking their magic and kind of reflecting it back at them, because eventually they're going to start sending a lot of projectiles at me, which is going to stun me a lot. See, here we go. See, now they're starting to send a lot more projectiles at me, and it's going to start interrupting my whole flow here. And this just kind of escalates as you go. But yeah, not too challenging though. Again, if you got some AoE magic to help you out like this, and so long as you keep your blocking game up, not too bad. Next game. Here in the Caribbean, you gotta contend with the melon flan. This one's pretty fun. A little bit challenging to get the top score you need, but waves of flans are gonna come attacking you in little rows, and you gotta fire the cannons. Gotta fend them off. If one of the flans gets here and bites one of your cannons, then you lose. And every now and then, you can hit this bell to fire all of them a few times, which can be very helpful, just to clear the board. But yeah, that's about all for this one. Next game! And the final flan is I guess the other melon flan. I guess there's watermelon flan and regular melon flan. I don't know. In this one, you have to bounce on their heads. You can't bounce on the same one twice. As soon as you see one sparkling, then you can bounce on that particular one's head to go to the next tower. There we go. Yeah. And eventually they start moving around and stuff, which makes it a little bit more challenging. But yeah, you just got to keep this chain going for as long as you possibly can. This one took a few tries, but I guess none of them are really that bad for getting high scores. And there's... Oops, missed. And there's guides online, obviously, for how to do them real easy. But these weren't so bad. The real annoying challenges were not flan-related. Yeah, the real challenges were having to go back and redo some of the other mini-games and get, like, high scores on them. Like, let me just kind of show you. I won't go and do them again, because I think you've already seen, basically, the general idea. But they're in here, I think. Like Like the Verum Rex, that mini game where you're like going and trying to take out a whole bunch of mechs and get a high score. I had to do that one and get a very high score in it, which took a little bit of time, but I did it. Also, you got to go back and do the festival dance and get a really high score there. Handled that. Frozen Slider. This is the most obnoxious one because it's not that you have to get a really high score. This is the one where you're like sliding down Goofy's shield down the mountain and it's very SSX. The thing that's obnoxious about this one is that in order to get, I think, an Orichalcum Plus from this, which you need for the ultimate weapon, you've got to find 10 hidden treasures on that mountain, which is really obnoxious because they are tucked away and every individual run takes at least a minute to get through. And you're going to have to do a lot of runs to find them all. Even with a guide, it's obnoxious finding all these things because there's just not very many good visual landmarks for where you are. But anyway, that one's a pain in the butt, but it's handled. Flash Tracer, also a bit of a pain in the butt. A little bit. This is the mini game that Hero kind of puts together for your training in the city in San Francisco. The first course is pretty easy. The second course was a bit more of a challenge, but once I'd leveled up a bit, not too terrible. And 100 Acre Wood, I guess I didn't have to do any of that, but I kind of went back and did some of them again anyway because you need ingredients for cooking, which we'll get to cooking later, believe me. So one of the other things that I did was go and fight all of these little battle gate things. There's about 13 or 14 of them scattered across all of the worlds. You saw them, you saw the idea of what they are. Some of them are a little harder than others, none of them too difficult. They were all good practice and very good for leveling up and very good for getting synthesis materials. I guess let me go ahead and just start taking you on a tour through everything I've done here just in the menu because there's a lot to see. Cuisine. We have done everything but one recipe in the bistro. There's one of those left. I think a cutscene is going to happen when I do that last one. So I wanted to go ahead and do that one on camera. We'll do that one in a second. I've also gone and collected and played at least once all of these Classic Kingdom games. I'm not going to play them here now because, as I found out when I was playing all these at least once, they get kind of tedious kind of quickly. They're much better played in small doses here and there, but there's lots of little cute ones, like jumping little hurdles, trying to sled down a hill and collect things, trying to keep cats from scratching furniture. It's very cute. But yeah, none of these are, like, in isolation, they're all a little bit dull. But it's a really cute addition, though. I like it. I had to play through all of them once, though, in order to get one of the unlockable Keyblades in this game. I got a couple more now that y'all might be interested in. This is the one I got most recently for playing all those games, the Classic Tone. A Keyblade with an emphasis on magic. It's quite good, like one of the best magic Keyblades in the game, I think. And yeah, I'll show off some of these Keyblades in action later because some of them are very fun. I also got the Oathkeeper. I think this might have been added in the Remind DLC, though I do think I earned it by collecting a whole lot of lucky emblems. I think. I'm not sure. I just randomly got a little message in the mail when I logged back into the game saying, hey, you've done a lot of good things. Here, have this. Turn in this little token to a Moogle, and then the Moogle gave me just this really darn good Keyblade. It's got very fun form changes. I'll show you later. What else have we done here? We got all the treasures. We've got all the lucky emblems. Like, all of them. And there are a lot of real cute ones out there, I have to say. Oh, look at that. That's adorable. I won't go through the whole darn list because this is going to be a long enough episode as is, but you get the idea. A lot of good emblems out there. Some of them are real sneaky. But anyway, got all that handled. Let's see. I've got all the secret reports from doing all of the battle gates. I will read through all of those at the end of the episode, and I'm very excited to because I have not read any of them ever since reading that first one last episode. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited. Other stuff first, though. You know what? Let's go ahead and head to the bistro because I want to cook that last dish. Away! Actually, by the way, while I'm out here, I should also go ahead and say I did a lot of gummy ship mission stuff. I wandered all over getting treasures and leveling up my gummy ship and fighting fights, and really just had to spend a lot of time out here just getting materials for synthesis because you just have to do a lot of that. But yeah, did it all. Hey, little chef, I'm ready to cook.
We brought some ingredients.
Let us test our culinary skills. All right, all right, all right. I have made everything. Made everything at least once. This secondary menu, by the way, like this is the regular menu here. The second one is recipes that require ingredients that you can only get from the Flan minigames. Because every time you succeed at one of the Flantastic 7 minigames, you get one special unique ingredient, like they're the fruit that they are. And if you do really good, then they give you 3 of those ingredients. So it can take a little while to get all the stuff you need. It's a bit of a pain. Much bigger pain is just getting all the ingredients you need to cook all this stuff even just once. Some of these ingredients you can't buy. You have to find them out in the world, and it's just kind of tedious, but we did it. Or I did it, rather. And now we just gotta cook one more thing. One last meal. Let's do it. Chop, chop, chop. Chop everything. At last, it is done. Stuffed quail. And the bistro has earned its final star. No higher honor exists for a restaurant.
Hey, little chef. Your bistro turned out to be a big hit.
Yeah, everybody in the whole town loves it.
Good idea, Uncle Scrooge.
Aye, naturally. But to be perfectly honest, I'm actually a wee bit surprised myself.
Gosh, Uncle Scrooge, I thought you had this all planned out in advance.
Wait, didn't you?
Oh, I had the business side of it planned down to the finest detail. The open-air theatre, the flyers, the promo data, the whole kit and caboodle. But that wasn't enough. It was Little Chef's commitment to his craft, his desire to put smiles on everyone's faces that made the bistro a success. A heart that cares that much is like a giant magnet. It grabs you and pulls you right in.
That must be why we like hanging around Sora. Don't you think so, Donald?
Yeah,
Aye, and perhaps why Little Chef took such a shine to you in the first place. Folks are hungry for connection, so you lads keep 'em well fed.
Sure thing. Right, little chef?
I love these silly games. And hey, another Keyblade, the Grand Chef. A Keyblade with an emphasis on magic. Form changes into a frying pan. Love it. So we have got almost all of the Keyblades available to us. Let's go get the last one. Moogle, I require your shop. I have been busy in here too, by the way. Synthesized near every dang thing. Getting materials for all this is a pain in the butt. As always, it's been more of a pain in the butt in some previous games, but it's always a pain in the butt. But there is one thing left that I still need to craft, and that is this. Yes. Ultima Weapon, the Supreme Keyblade. Form changes into ultimate form. We got a lot of Keyblades to check out here. Also, let's see, the Keyblade Forge. Turns out I have leveled up pretty much all of these to max. Except for the newest ones, which are this one. And, nope, that's already leveled up. That's nice. I appreciate that quite a bit. Is there another one I haven't leveled up all the way? Nope, got them all. Wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and do this thing. This all the way up. I tried to make sure that I had enough in advance, just to not slow this episode down. I've been very busy. And finally, yes. All right, we are good to go. See, where can we try these things out? Let me go find us a fight. Anyone looking for a fight? I've got a new kitchen Keyblade that looks very silly. Let's see if this fight can last long enough for me to get to do a form change. I might have to jump back into a battle gate in order to find such a challenge. Yep, this ain't gonna work. Well, oh wait, here we go. Frying pan! Yes. Oh, it's a shield. It's just like the Hercules one. That's great. Ah, that's cute. Does it function the same way as the Hercules one, where you can block with it and absorb hits? Probably, right? Let's see what the finishing move is. That's excellent. Love it. All right, so next up, the the one from all the classic games. Look at this goofy thing. Here, this should provide a challenge. Okie dokie. This one's magically focused, so let's open with this. All right, now, boom hammer. Here we go. It's another hammer weapon. Feels good being OP again. I gotta show you all the finishing move on this, because it's pretty great. Come on. Here we go. Also turns into a little drill hand. And... come here. Oh, hold still, will ya? Would you hold still, you obnoxious thing? No. Okay, let's do a finishing move. I don't think it'll hit him, but I love that. It does like AoE time damage. It's very cool. Now, we still got a couple more Keyblades to show off, obviously, but you know, I think I might know just the place to do it. Be right back with you. So, one of the reasons that I went and did all of this plus ultrafying on our crew here, even though the game is already beaten, is that my understanding is that going into the Remind DLC, you do sort of transfer your progress from the base game to this in some way, shape, or form. So I figured might as well go ahead and do that and just make sure I'm all prepared. The other reason is that there is an optional boss fight at the end of this, and I just assume it's hard. I haven't tried it yet. It's this. Powerful adversaries lie beyond this gate. Enter and meet them in battle. Sora must face this challenge alone. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, I am prepared. Hopefully, I will have an opportunity to show off these other two Keyblades, one of which I haven't messed with at all, so this will be fun. Hey, hey. Nice to meet you. The Dark Inferno. Okay. Gracious. Well, let's start off with Oathkeeper, huh? Assuming I get a turn, of course. I'm doing some good damage, at least. Come on, do something. Where'd you go? What are you doing? I hate it. Nope. Hate it. Where are you? Come here. Alright, blocked. Get out of here. Light form time, baby. Yeah. Come here. What are you doing? Yikes. Whew. Watch that. Come here. Come here. I hate that move, whatever it is. Oh, gracious. What do you hold still? Yeah, boy. Not very good at blocking that yet. Yikes. Better go ahead and do that just in case, you know. I wonder how this works. Wow. Okay. That was awesome. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Come here. Punk. That's right. Double form OKP. I don't know what that means. It means 2 Keyblades is what it means. Get over here. Ouch. Yeah, I got fancy moves too. Get out of here. Roxas style. Ha ha. Ah, gracious, that's a lot of stuff that I'm having to deal with all at once. Whoa. You're getting stronger as we go, huh? Don't love that. Whew. Where are you anyway? There you are. So let's see how this other one does, huh? This ultimate weapon we have. Can I block, please? Get beat up a lot. Get smacked around a lot. With my fancy new Keyblade, you done. Didn't even get to see the fancy stuff I could do. Crystal Regalia grants a huge boost in strength and magic and a small boost in maximum AP. That sounds lovely. I'll take it. Finger smack selfie pose unlocked. This we must see. Okay. Glad that went so well. I was a little worried going into an optional boss fight with no preparation. Didn't know how long that was going to take. Let's start by figuring out what this is. I was like, I'm going to flick it. Cute. I love our additional little poses. So good. Okay, for real though, what else? Hey, that finished off our little bestiary here. Wonderful. I was starting to wonder. Oh, and hey, I said last episode, I think, that I had no idea who this was. Like, this isn't a missing character. It's just an entry that they don't give you the character's name. It's this guy. It's still a little wild that they hinged that big emotional moment on you knowing who the F this is, but still. That's Kingdom Hearts for you. What game records are missing? I guess there's some shot locks I haven't done with certain weapons, and holy crap, we haven't used Stitch yet. I just realized, hang on, we gotta find a fight so we can use Stitch and maybe see what else this Ultima weapon can do. Okay, let's just do this battle again and use both things. Alrighty, alrighty. Stitch, are you ready? I don't really know how to use you, but I just want to see what you do. So, plasma encounter.
Give me strength.
Hey, buddy.
Come on.
What are you doing? What are you doing here? Oh, I'm like swinging you around. What is happening? Okay. Sorry, it's been too long since I read the description of how this works, I guess. Oh, I'm creating like a little place that encloses them. Finish!
Ready and
Wow. I did pretty bad. But I had fun. Thanks, Stitch. All right, let's see what this Keyblade can do. Thank you, Donald. Get him, Sora. Ultimate form. Kind of hard to see. Real hard to see. Whoa, look at us. We're gliding around. Real fancy sword here. Love it. gracious. Yeah, let's see how long your armor lasts against this thing. Wow. Finishing move. Wow. This is a Keyblade and a half. I love it. Big fan of how extra this nonsense is. Let's see that ultimate form again somewhere where our camera will actually work. Yes. Oh, that's cool looking. Okay. I am sold. Big fan. And I bet there's going to be even more Keyblades, or at least more cool stuff in the Remind DLC, huh? Oh, I'm excited. I'm so glad there's a little bit more Kingdom Hearts for us before we wrap this up. Boy, this Keyblade, though. Big fan. Well, I think that's almost everything.
So much has happened here.
It's so true. Just one more thing to take care of before we go. That's right. It's time for a little light reading. We got some secret reports to read, and I'm very interested to see their contents because there are a lot of little loose threads in Kingdom Hearts 3's story, stuff that just kind of got name dropped or brought up numerous times but not really resolved, and that girl that Lee and Isa were trying to help is one of them, and it seems like these reports might be about her, or at least in part. I'm sure the Remind DLC will add some clarity to some stuff as well, and also introduce tons of new questions. Probably more questions than answers, but that's just the Kingdom Hearts way. All right, let's get in here, and oh yes, the, the Stitch link, and do some reading. Settle in, there's a lot to read. Recollections. Am I alive? I awoke in a cell, alone until the researchers came with their tests and their prodding to uncover my identity. I had no answer to offer them. 4 friends and a key. That's the sum total of my memory. I could not even recall my name. I was simply called X there. My only solace was the time I spent talking with the 2 boys who would visit from time to time. One day, a man came to take me from the prison. I could not see him for the darkness, save that he wore an eye patch. Even now, years on, I feel no closer to understanding who or what I am. May my heart be my guiding key. Unknown. All right, so just from that, I know I could keep on reading, but I'm enjoying the theorizing before we do. Awaking with no memory, except for of like 4 friends and a key. They're calling the character X, so I'm guessing this is a nobody waking up somewhere, probably Ansem's lab on Radiant Garden. Yeah, it would have to be because Lee and Isa are there talking to her, visiting from time to time. One day a man came to take me from the prison, and which was Braig or Zigbar. No, he would have been Braig back then. And that she's saying, may my heart be my guiding key. A lot of characters are saying that now, but that phrase is most tied to stuff in Union Cross. So I'm guessing she is a character from then, which would mean that Lee and Isa were trying to help a character from then. So this is an interesting connection. All right. Secret Report 2. Mark of Mastery Journal. Some days have passed since I set off on my journey to prepare for the Mark of Mastery examination. Ericus asked for leave to undertake the same pilgrimage, but apparently I'm to be first to tour the worlds written of in old fairy tales. Until a few short years ago, I'd known only my own world, a speck of land surrounded by sea. But how I had dreamed of, yearned for the world beyond, and granted guidance from the future, I left that nest behind. As I tread the path to my master's side, I came in contact with darkness in many forms. I knew even then, as by instinct, terrifying as its power was, it could be harnessed, mastered. Ericus is a blue blood, descended from the very first masters in the age of fairy tales, but I did not come this far to indulge in adulation. I will be his peer, his equal, and to do that, I must learn to wield the power born from both darkness and light in proper balance. Xehanort. Interesting. So these are going to be written by different people. Also, okay, that Ericus has a ancestor from the, or I guess a line of ancestry from the early days. I wonder if that means that the brain character, because if you've gone any further into the Union Cross stories, you remember that brain character who was one of the 4 new Union leaders in the dream world in Union Cross? That character's face was later revealed, and it looks really a lot like Ericus. And I think the theory at the time was that that was a young Ericus, and maybe so, but maybe that was like Ericus's ancestor. I don't know. Also, I still have no idea why Ventus was there with baby Ericus, or Ericus's ancestor even, and why Ventus is here now are looking the same age. That's a thing I don't know. Anyway, Secret Report 3. Experiments of the Heart. Notes on Subject X, Excerpt 1. Subject was found in the central square shortly after dawn. Female, approximately 15 years old. After 7 days' observation, she spoke her first words, but could not provide a name. Subject exhibits signs of profound amnesia, and displays concern about which world this is. Her words suggest that she departed her homeworld with others, though she cannot recall the names of her erstwhile companions. All efforts to explore those memories have met with a rejection response. After his initial experiments on me, Ansem the Wise ceased his research into the heart, his hand stayed by some fear I cannot fathom. Yet this new subject is like me, devoid of memories. She's the perfect sample upon which to continue my master's work. She too could benefit from it. By traversing the heart, we have a direct path into memory. I myself have begun to reclaim my lost past thanks to these very experiments. Who is she? Whence has she come? These are questions no scientist could ignore, and the words she muttered, "May your heart be your guiding key." Xehanort. But Terra Xehanort, the student of Ansem the Wise. Interesting. Okay. Secret Report 4. Experiments of the Heart, Notes on Subject X, Excerpt 2. Subject's memories have not returned, and our conversations remain less than lucid. What fragments can be gleaned evoke a bygone world, like one out of fairy tales. As improbable as it seems, the question may not be where she has come from, but when. If she truly has crossed through time, the prospect of probing her heart is all the more compelling. My pilot studies used a handful of subjects, but none possessed the fortitude to endure them. Ultimately, all suffered mental collapse. I knew it would be a heavy blow to lose a subject as unique as she. Upon discovering the tests I've been conducting, my master demanded that I cease my work immediately and destroy what research I've compiled. Worse still, he ordered the release of my remaining subjects. She's gone. Where's Subject X now? Has wise Master Ansem hidden her away? Whatever the case, I will not be deterred. I will take her place as the first subject in the grand experiment to come. Xehanort. Alright, so she got out. Where the heck is she? Memoirs, Excerpt 1. That castle was a wonderland to us children. Within its walls, Ansem the Wise conducted his research, and the fruits it bore allowed everyone outside to live in peace and happiness. That alone was enough to stoke our interest, though not all the rumors that escaped its walls were so benevolent. By night, the muffled sounds of human wails emerged. There was talk of dangerous human experimentation. Lee and I couldn't help but hatch a plot to steal inside and sate our curiosity. The two who stood guard at the gates were researchers themselves, though you wouldn't think it to see them, massive and barrel-chested as they were. And slipping past that duo was only the first hurdle. It proved one not easily cleared. We were found and tossed out on our ears time and again. On the day we finally secured our entry, we descended the long spiral stair at the heart of the castle to find a dark space below it, lined with cages. There wasn't light enough to see if they were inhabited, and we were in no position to call out to any occupants within. Yet we could feel it, a definite presence, there in the black. Terror washed over us, and we immediately regretted coming. But just as we turned to flee, we heard the faintest of voices. The urge to run was nigh overpowering, but someone or something beckoned us on. There, framed by a tenuous sliver of light, we found her. Sykes. Not written as Isa. Interesting. Written after becoming a nobody. Secret Report number 6. Memoirs, Excerpt 2. It was too dim to make out her features. We spoke to her in hushed whispers. Who was she? Why was she imprisoned here? She had no answers for us, had no memories at all. She was an enigma, but I knew I wanted to help her. And so we continued our infiltrations. Most of them stopped short at the castle gates. When we did manage our way inside, we spoke with her. That was all the comfort two children like us could offer. But Lee had other ideas. He was determined to free her. We slipped into the castle that day, knowing only that we wanted, with all our hearts, to save her. But we did not find her inside on that day, or the next, or any of our subsequent visits. Had she been moved? Had we simply imagined her? Lee and I knew there was only one way to be certain. And so we stand before the castle gates today, not as trespassing children, but in order to become Ansem the Wise's newest apprentices. Sykes. So, okay. I don't know why he's signing them Sykes. I guess he wrote them after the fact. But no, he's saying, and so we stand before the castle gates today, at which time he was Isa. Whatever. So, the girl was imprisoned and being experimented on, and these two boys were sneaking in to, find out what was going on, and they kept her company sometimes when they could manage to get in. Then, when Ansem put a stop to Terranort's experiments, the girl was set loose somewhere, who knows, and the boys came in, found her gone, and decided to join up. All right, so, stitching this whole darn thing together. Secret Report 7. On the replica program and reanimation. Following my erasure and my recompletion as a human, I did not awaken right away. Perhaps the damage was exceptionally grave. Even after waking, I remained in bed, pondering my next course of action. In my work on the replica program for the organization, I produced some 20 vessels. Most of the early results were failures, not one of them granted a number. The first success to emerge from that early lot was the Riku replica. Subsequently, Shion, number I, was essentially indistinguishable from a natural human, though she became unstable due to the influence of others. Using those two as my foundation, I worked to construct a number of nigh-perfect replicas, but just as they neared completion, my efforts were cut short. I suspect Xehanort aims to use both the initial lot as well as the unused replicas from my later work. I arose today and decided to walk out to the square, my first outing in some time. Yet my stroll was interrupted when a surprising visitor appeared with an unexpected offer. Though younger than me, he had risen to become Xemnas' right hand. I accepted his terms and became a nobody once more. Easier to gain access to the old replica program that way. Whatever it takes to atone. Vexen. I had a feeling. Secret Report 8. The Real Organization. Xehanort seeks to gather 12 vessels, which, together with his true, actual self, he considers the real Organization 13. Now that he has the numbers he needs, Demix and I are being treated as reserves. Several others who served Xemnas in the old organization have followed the same course as mine, electing to abandon their newly restored humanity and rejoin the real organization as nobodies. But not Xemnas. Xemnas cannot exist in the present, because there's already a Xehanort here. The old man in charge. The old man's humanity prevents his heartless and nobody, others vanquished in the past, and his younger self from being denizens of this time. To circumvent this, Xehanort is using the prototype replicas I created in the past as containers, plucking his other selves' hearts from the times they existed. Xehanort ordered me to refine the prototypes, to make them closer still to the real thing. Perfecting my creations so they may house true flesh and blood humans suits my own purposes as well. All that remains for my atonement is to devise a way to pass on as many of the vessels as I can to those who truly deserve them. Vexen. So okay, he was in fact definitely playing double agent then. Good for him. Secret Report 9. Ansem Code Conspectus. Excerpt 1. Okay. I have pored over the data my master entrusted to Riku. Here I offer my preliminary conclusions. Within Sora's heart are 3 compartmentalized boxes, each containing the heart of another. One box holds Roxas. Another holds a second heart that has been with Sora nearly as long. The third has held its heart for much longer. These hearts have melded with Sora's and no longer have voices of their own. Any attempt to mechanically extract them could prove as dire for Sora as what caused him to become a Heartless in the first place. First, a vessel for each heart must be readied. Then a spark of some sort is required to induce its waking. Obviously, the ideal solution is to restore each heart to its own body, but, whatever the case for the 2 unknown individuals, Roxas possesses no such thing. The same is true for Naminé, who we believe resides in Kairi's heart. Still, if alternate bodies can be secured for them, all their hearts require to be awakened is that spark. People they cared for, and who cared for them, who can show them the way home. Complete and perfect digitalization of the heart is impossible. We can only hope to partially reconstruct it. Thus, I see no way forward but to extract the hearts we so desperately need directly from within Sora. Fortunately, the data stored in Twilight Town contains a near-perfect record of the memories of those who lived there, and for Roxas and Naminé especially, this is crucial. Yenzo. Secret Report 10. Ansem Code Conspectus Excerpt 2. As for how to contain their hearts, the only conceivable option is the replicas. If we transfer in the digital memories from the Twilight Town archive, the replicas should be able to reconstruct each individual's human appearance with near-perfect results. Then their hearts need only the right spark to wake them, so they may find their way out of Sora and Carrie and into those newly made bodies. The replica program was truly revolutionary, but it was incomplete at the time of the old organization's dissolution. Without Evan, how are we to further the research? We need at least 3 replicas, one for Roxas, one for Naminé, and one for the unknown stowaway within Sora's heart. These are difficult quandaries, but as I work through my master's data, I find myself remembering the taste of ice cream. When I was a boy, he would bring me some when we took walks together. There will be time to regret my betrayal later. For now, my focus must be on restoring Roxas and Naminé and proving my master had good intentions. Yenzo. Secret Report 11. Observations, Excerpt 1. I've seen it through. The Keyblade War unfolded exactly as written on the lost page. Now the Keyblade the Master entrusted to me must be bequeathed to another. 5 Union leaders have been chosen from the surviving Dandelions. I will pass the Keyblade to one of them, and then continue watching the future unfold. Yet it seems that someone's pulled the old switcheroo. One of the 5 is an imposter, someone the Master did not choose. They represent a virus in the program he so carefully wrote. The virus has begun a strange undertaking, a reckless plot to allow the 5 to escape into another world line. Surely such a thing can't be possible. We're talking about the same trick that allowed the Dandelions to transfer to other world lines after the Keyblade War. But these children are no masters. They haven't the means. Unless, of course, a certain lady of magic summoned here from the future knows more than I do. The whole Union leader thing was supposed to be by the books. Are these new events just another phase in the Master's grand plan? Unknown. But I'm guessing Lushu. So wait a minute, Lushu passed his Keyblade, or that Keyblade, to one of the 5 surviving Union leader Dandelions? Which one? I really should catch up with where the Union Cross story is lately. I'm sure some new developments have happened. Or hey, maybe Remind will tell us. We'll see. Anyway, Secret Report 12. Observations, Excerpt 2. Even on a world line with no Keyblade War, peace is but a dream. In the absence of us and our master, a darkness arrived, one that shall surely lead the world to yet another demise. Amid the chaos, I bequeathed my Keyblade to one of the Union leaders, just as the master instructed. I watched as the 5 were sent to another world line, at no small cost, ensuring the line of Keyblade wielders will live on. And now, Keybladeless, I must depart this land to fulfill my final task. This means casting my own body aside and sojourning my heart in vessel after vessel, as many as it takes. But I will continue gazing upon each passing era, one unto the next. In time, be it years or decades, centuries or millennia, I will meet the 5 once more. Somewhere in this cyclical history of bequeathings, a chosen one will appear and reenact the Keyblade War. When the scapegoat arrives and takes my Keyblade in hand, that'll be the time to take the stage and finish my role. The Lost Masters will awaken. Alright, so Lushu was just keeping an eye on stuff in the shadows, and Xehanort ended up being the chosen one to make that second Keyblade War happen, which is when Lushu, then Braig, saw his opportunity to jump back into the picture. Interesting. And finally, Secret Report 13. Observations, Excerpt 3. It seems this body, this name, will be my last. The lives I've lived over the ages could fill volumes, but for now, I must focus on what matters most. The Keyblade's been successfully passed down generation to generation, and it seems a Keyblade master devoted to darkness may finally arise. Until now, I've watched over the course of events from a distance. Perhaps the time's come to intervene. I need only play the role of a fool desirous of the Keyblade's power. I'll don the mask of his ally in order to keep watch over my Keyblade from close by. The Gazing Eye, a Keyblade forged from the eye of the Master of Masters. He passed it to me, as I have to others, and through it he can see the future, all that will ever come to pass. Spanning the ages and body after body, life after life, my task has been to keep watch over the eye as it passes from hand to hand. It's been a long time, longer than I can express. But now at last the Keyblade War has begun, and Kingdom Hearts will open. A true and complete Kingdom Hearts, born of the clash between darkness and light. I will soon be reunited with my old companions, and in that moment my long vigil will reach its end. He will return. He who? Is that the Master? Is the Master character finally going to come back? I'm game for that. Well, that was a lot of reading. Episode 1 of the week, and my voice is already tired. I'm gonna go drink some water because tomorrow, y'all, we are heading out into the Remind DLC, and I'm real excited to see what it contains. Until then, y'all have yourselves a good one. Take care, and goodbye. Bonk. Sorry, Goofy, I couldn't resist.